Hi, this is Daniel. Um, I'm the one student that is not currently in Melbourne, that is in Sydney, and well, I have been delivering all my assignments remotely, and hopefully you can see this and grade somehow what I did in here. I had a really big limitation in terms of time, so I tried to do what I was able to do with the time I had to deliver something. Was a really challenging assignment because we had to learn at some point Java FX and for me every single step was a really big learning. I Even though my assignment will not be like ideal and efficient, I spent a considerable amount of time doing this. Think that is good for me. um, I really enjoy doing this. I wish I could spend more time in the future, though. Okay, so my assignment has first my I chose the assignment of the sensor visualization. I chose this assignment because I'm studying a Master of Analytics, and for me, this is really relevant. This analyzing information and make automated ways to analyze information is one of the things I do. One of the things I need to improve day to day. If I do it at the end of the day, I have more time to do analysis and less time to create tools. So for me, this was really an interesting project. It helped me realize that I want to keep on studying more programming, practicing more by myself in my free time. Uh, Definitely after this, I'm buying a PC and and putting a desk in my room to start doing some more work on the side. So so yes, it was really fun, and for me and my scope as a student will be really helpful. Okay, so what do we have here? My code has two main parts. One part is related to how I read the CSV file, and the other part of the code it's related to uh, the bar chart and how I created the bar chart and how I launched that. Um, you will see in my code, due to my time constraints, I was not able really to figure out the more efficient ways to put it together. So, well, at the end, it's not the most efficient work you will see. I am completely aware of that, unfortunately. Uh, but, but well, I made it work somehow. And this is the final output I have. Okay, so first what I did is that I created some arrays. These arrays are gonna be used after when I'm while I'm reading the CSV file. These arrays will be used to populate them with relevant information and try to make analysis after these are populated. Um, in here, I have the code I use to read the CSV file. I will go fast through this because I'm gonna send this by email anyways. So it's gonna be easy for you to see it. This is how I read the CSV file. Yeah, as you can see, I was reading line by line and with this I populated the arrays I previously created, and after that I did some sort of analysis like calculating the average of pedestrians that were in each street. um, so this is the part that as I was saying is the first part of the assignment of my code. Is related to how to read the CSV file and how to get the information and manipulate it. So in here, just a few comments. I know this part ideally must be done in another class. This class must be executed separately, and somehow with a controller, this must be controlled. Let's say like that by the main class, by my application or by my Java object. I'm Java FX object I'm creating. So um, this is not the ideal way to do it. Another efficient thing I would improve here is this. What I did here is that I first read the information. After that, I created a unique list of all the values of the arrays. And after that, I was able to create these arrays. And then after that, I was able to populate these arrays. So it's working and reworking. Ideally, there must be a way in which I could just get these arrays immediately from what I'm reading, and eventually uh, populate them as well. So I don't have to go through this part. That's something I would definitely improve. And what else? Oh well, and I create a little small method just to uh, let you know that. I put everything in one class, but I am aware of how to create a method somehow. I'm not expert in that area, but I created this method to read the file, the CSV file. So pretty much, yes, in this method, when you put it in the main, you just put read file, and then you put file and the name of your file you're trying to read, and then you will read the file. That's that's it for the first part of the code related to how to read the CSV file. Now for the part of the bar chart, it's really simple. Um, I just I just did the simplest code you could have for this. Uh, I created my in my starts class, which is this. I created my stage, and then from there, I put my category axis, my number axis, and I created the bar chart, which is this. After that, I started to populate all the informations and put the titles and assign the data from my arrays. In here, I did a small loop to assign the data to. I just chose uh, 10 random streets to show the average counts per street from 2016 to from 2010 to 2017 ish, just to try to make the part of in which you say you want information related to a period of 6 years, and related to the average counts. Might not be exactly what you requested, but at this point of the day, in which I need to submit this, is what I was able to do with the what I had. Okay, now the next thing is how how I put this information together in the bar chart. So you can see here, I put my title of the bar chart. It's a vertical bar chart. Um, I'm putting a title for my primary stage. I'm defining my width, my height, and etc. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. Uh, it can be improved a lot, and let's run it now, so you can see what we can get. Okay, through all the process, I put a lot of system out print line, just to make sure I was not making a mistake. So I tend to do that a lot. This is what we get at the end. As I said, I took 10 random streets, or X amount of streets randomly, and I just put them there from the years 2010 to 2017 with the average counts per street. Uh, I am completely aware that in the assignment the visual images needed you requested for the average count across 6 years for specified streets showing the trend, but at this point of time, I will not be able to submit that. Uh, Instead, with what I had at this moment, with the arrays I had created, I did this average pedestrians per street. Uh, in order to do this, just to make my point clear, that I just needed like a um, more time. In order to do this, I could explain like real quick. With with the way I was doing things, I just needed to. I just I would create I would create an array of the years, and then from that array of the years, I would create an array in which I can sum, and in which I can have an average, and in which I can have a count. Uh, the sum and the count will give me my average in talking about arrays, and I would read the CSV file each line, and uh, and I will put the the loop in which the loop would tell me like if this line is an index of the specific street I want and the specific years I want. The loop will run through the 6 years. With this, I mean I would do a loop that that would only stop in the specified years I want, so I can start summing all the counts, the pedestrian counts in every year, and then I would store in those my array of 6 values. I would store the sums there, so I can later manipulate them, and with my sum, and then with my count, I would get my average, and with that, I would populate my bar chart, which I have here in Eclipse. I would do a loop or something like that as I did um, here as well. This is where I assign the data. And what I was talking about before is the same logic I used to arrive to my graph. Is pretty much this. You can see in here I use index of. So for the years I would use index of my specific years. The loop will run only for the 6 years or the 9 years, the length of the years I want. And the information, the sum will be stored in each year. So that's how I would have done this. Thanks so much for the attention, and well, um, see you later. And thanks for everything, professors.